So forgiveness. I read a comment where somebody wrote the word forgiveness, that she worked to try to forgive and love for years. And she's like 68 and she noticed it doesn't work. And this is what I wanted to talk about. Yet forgiveness in the form in which it's been represented doesn't work. It's not so easy to do. Why? Because forgiveness in itself, okay, so when you go to a therapist or a psychologist or a psychiatrist or somebody who's like healing you, okay, you know, I like hate that term. So healing you or helping you heal, basically the first thing they say, or a lot of things they say, or even friends say this, is like, learn to forgive, learn to forgive. And they're talking to empaths. Like empaths, like their whole notion is they forgive everyone's bad behavior. They forgive crap that is unforgivable and they forgive it. Even if they were treated so badly, they will give excuses to the person who's been a shit or a narcissist to them. They will give excuses to be like, oh, you know, they've had a very tough childhood. And that's why a lot of us actually get engaged or married to narcissists. And trust me, go to the playlist we have on this YouTube called Expand Past Narcissistic Abuse. There's so much information in there that's going to delight your cells and wake you up to your true essence. It's just delightful. It's very different than the other stuff you're listening to. So what happens with forgiveness, you give excuses for bad behavior. That's what you believe forgiveness is. Because when you go to a therapist and she's like, you're like, oh, I can't forgive my mom for all the stuff she's done to me. And she's like, well, think of all the other ways. Like, think of all the things she has done. Like, can you put into perspective that she must have been exhausted? She was tired. She wasn't paying attention to you. Maybe her life was miserable. She had gone through the same thing, blah, 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 blah. And what happens to an empath, you feel really guilty for having a judgment against that person, right? So now you're like, oh my God, but I've done this my whole life. I've given excuses for bad behavior. That's what kept me like ending up in crazy, stupid relationships, marrying stupid relationships, having stupid relationships with friends, just completely like being a doormat and a people pleaser, is because I would tap into the energy, the pocket of energy, the wounded child within that person. I would tap into their wounded child, even if it's a parent, right? And you would give them excuses for their adult bad behavior because you're like attuned and empathetically feeling the pain that this child must have gone through to have become this being at this age, right? And that's what keeps us in narcissistic relationships, because we are attuned to the younger version that was slapped silly out of their shame, slapped silly out of their normalcy and gone into an immense amount of shame that there's no way they can self-reflect. It's impossible, right? Well, nothing's impossible. But it's like, so forgiveness comes in that department, is like, look for the excuses to give them reasons for their bad behavior. As empaths, we do that naturally. But the day comes where you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to give them excuses. But the guilt then shows up. You start to feel so guilty that you're not forgiving someone because you are an empath. You are a forgiving soul. You like jump through hoops. You pretzel yourself for other people. You do everything to make sure everybody is feeling really good in your presence. You want to uplift the energies all the time. So you're basically holding up buildings and towers all day long, wondering why you're miserable as an empath, right? I'm just saying drop it. So basically drop the healing idea. Now, and drop the idea that you're the only light that can uplift the thing. That's just, it's too exhausting, and it's really nonsense. It's not your role, it's Source's role. So the idea of forgiveness, how can we shift to that paradigm? How can we let go of the idea of forgiveness is the best thing to do and this is how you'll feel better? Is because the only person that you truly want to truly forgive is yourself. And that is the hardest thing for an empath to do. Right? Because we love to like pour ourselves with guilt and shame. Like, this is the program. Like, oh, you know, but I can uplift and I can make everyone feel better. Like, I don't deserve that much attention or forgiveness. Like, so it's like forgiving others isn't the key to anything. It's forgiving yourself for, and this is, I'm getting the goosebumps. It's forgiving yourself for the fact that you couldn't see differently, or you fell for that narcissist, or you were a doormat, or you were like a codependent, or you were a people pleaser, or you were an anxious attachment. Forgiving yourself for being all these different characters at all these times that caused you so much pain because you gave up on yourself. So you want to be able to forgive the versions of you that gave up on you, right? Those are the versions of you that you want to forgive. So if you want to use the word forgiveness, that is where you're going to use it. That is the only place to use it, where you start to forgive your life. You start to forgive your choices. You start to forgive. So my camera cut halfway through. I'm like, damn it. So I was in a roll. So you basically start to forgive all parts of you that have taken these decisions that you've deemed wrong, have become like, felt less than, you know, and you forgive your past. You forgive those versions of you. You forgive the decisions you took. You forgive the thoughts you had. You start to do that kind of forgiveness for self. It lightens you up. Forgiving somebody else is like, it's a program, right? It's a program that's enforced that doesn't even make any sense, because how can you forgive somebody that just caused you so much pain? It's crazy. It's like, no, I have so much pain from this person right now. I'm not ready to forgive them. And if I try to and I can't accomplish it, then there's something wrong with me, because I can't seem to accomplish pain. Therefore, I'm the bad person. I'm not an empath. There's something wrong with me. Yet again, it turns back to, how can I self-blame? How can I make this my fault? This is all me. I can't seem to do the thing that all spiritual teachings are teaching right now. So then it must be me and my fault. I haven't healed enough. Let me work through the things, because I'm supposed to be able to simply forgive everyone for their stupidity, right? I want to forgive everyone. You know, you don't have to blame them. Okay, we don't have to go, it was all your fault that I feel this pain. Well, that's how we feel when we can't forgive. But at the same time, you don't have to forgive. You can forgive yourself for not forgiving. Oh, it's so interesting. You can forgive yourself for not being able to forgive. Like, forgive the version of you that can't forgive. That's okay. She's allowed not to forgive. You are allowed not to forgive if you don't want to forgive. That's okay. There is nothing wrong with that at all. It isn't the be it, do it all. It isn't the only thing. It isn't the one thing in which you will elevate spiritually and it'll make you a good person. You're a good person. So for empaths, that's really hard, because they naturally do that. And the day they wake up and decide, I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of who I've been. I'm sick of the character I've been playing. I'm sick of being like, oh, I'll help everyone. I'm the healer and I forgive everyone. And you can crap all over me. And, you know, and then you get confused over what your boundaries are and how do I do boundaries? And I have a whole other video about like debunking boundaries. But like, it's all so, it doesn't work for the empaths. Why? Because as an empath soul, okay, you already have all this embedded. You are like, okay, so let's say this. Everyone on the planet Earth doesn't remember why we're here, right? We have no memory. And let's say the empath soul has a memory of it in the body, has a memory of unconditional love, which is what we want to pour out and we want to pour towards ourselves, right? We're being kind to our parents and taking on their energies and trying to shift them within us because we want to feel safe, because we want to feel safe. We want to feel the way we felt when we were with Divinity and Source, that unconditional love, that we are utterly safe, nothing can hurt us and harm us. And at the same time, we want to make everyone around us feel really good and feel really happy. So it's a double combo. Like, there's our own personal gain, because every human here has a personal gain, and there is a gain for someone. Now, true clarity and transparency comes in when you understand what's your personal gain from this. What are you receiving? Why are you doing this? Why are you people pleasing? It's because I want to feel safe. I don't feel safe. That's the number one. So let's go with the forgiveness thing now. So as an empath, you're feeling all this. You're full of love. You forgive everyone their stupidity. You're able to find a million excuses for people's bad behavior. You touch base with their wounded child, and you give their adult self the excuses for their shitty behavior, and you continue in this cycle forever and evermore. And then you go to a therapist and you're like, I'm done. This person just, I can't do it anymore. I am in so much pain from this person or this person or this situation, and I can't do it. And then they sit and tell you forgive. And you're like, and then you suffocate, and then you feel so guilty because you're like, oh my God, but I've done it my whole life, where I've given excuses for bad behavior, and I've forgiven, and I've stepped all over myself, and I didn't even put myself into consideration. So that is what forgiveness looks like in the program. This is what the program is teaching. We want to debunk the program for empaths, because narcissists, toxic people, emotionally immature people do not know how to forgive. They don't know how to give excuses for bad behavior. Plus, when they are non-forgiving, they are vengeful. They are hurtful. They will go out and they will pay you back. But that's not what an empath does, right? An empath will rage, but then they will shit all over themselves. They will find fault within them, right? But so this whole forgiveness thing is done for the humans that are narcissists, which are really a lot of them on the planet, right? This is a teaching for them because they don't know what forgiveness is, because they want revenge immediately. They want to pay back. They want to, they want to hurt the person even more than they were hurt. It's that teaching is for them, right? Because they don't go through guilt and oh, did I hurt this person's feelings? I wish I said it right. I wish I didn't, oh my God, I feel that I should have not said that. I should have said it this way. I could have said it better, right? There's all this walking on eggshells, not to hurt other people's feelings, because we don't know what the consequence of hurting their feelings is. It could really harm us, and we don't feel safe, and it took so long to make ourselves feel safe. It's a lot of mix-up stuff in there. So that information, that kind of forgive others, is so they can calm down and not revenge and avenge their rage and their anger and their lack of non-forgiveness, right? So it's done for different people. But if you're an empath, that will only trigger guilt and shame inside of you. First, that you can't get it done, and second, that it's the only way that you can be a good person and that you can be kind and loving. I hope this is making sense. So just contemplate forgiveness, and how has it been playing a role in your life, and why have you been forcing yourself to forgive others when the true person who's waiting for your forgiveness and your love and your kindness, instead of is you? Is that pocket of energy within you that is feeling so ashamed of itself for not being able to forgive, or harboring rage and anger still towards somebody. When she is able to speak her truth, to feel free, to feel, you know what? I don't want to forgive a single soul on this world, and that's okay. That is my freedom. That is my right, which is really cool, because this way she is free to actually express herself, or hisself, to express herself to who? To the dearest person on earth, you, right? Or to source, right? And if not forgiveness is suffocating you, and you're like, but the anger, then the anger wants to speak. The frustration wants to speak. Let it speak. Let it be there. Let it exist. Why not? Who is running after you? No one. Who is oh, you better, you better stop being angry. Who's teaching us this? All the religions and the spiritual stuff is teaching us that it's horrible to feel your feelings in that way, and try to love them so you can get rid of them. That's also upside down. So there's no need to forgive. The only versions of you the only person that needs forgiveness is you, between you. You forgive yourself for feeling angry, forgive yourself for answering back, forgive yourself for making wrong decisions. That's where the true pain lies for empaths. Forgiveness is for other beings to learn that there's kindness in that, and once they are able to forgive others, they will be able to go back inwards, which is their biggest challenge. But our biggest challenge is to decipher the difference between what the program is teaching all humans and what doesn't work for empaths and only builds upon our guilt and our shame and our let's heal ourselves immediately. Because to be quite honest, who are the only people that are actually working inwards all the time? Empaths. So does healing even work that way? Does it function with us? No, not really, right? That's not the way we deal with it, because we feel so much and we empathize so much. So we need to start to empathize with ourselves a lot more and be kindness to ourselves a lot more, because naturally it'll just emanate everywhere. If you're still but I have to help the world, fine. Do it for you and let the light grow out of you for everybody else, right? And then you'll go through the stepping stones until you're like, oh my God, it all occurs really in here. And you'll see that and you'll feel that. Not that you'll be in it 24 hours a day like Eckhart Tolle. That would be lovely, but you'll pop in and out of these pockets, but at least you'll taste it and it gets bigger and bigger and you'll get to know it more and it'll help you. So this is about forgiveness. I hope it was helpful. I love you all so much, so much. You have no idea. Thank you for your comments and thank you for your likes and thank you, share this, of course, others might want to hear it. And just thank you for being you and being so gentle and tender and loving in your comments and so authentic and pure. Like I feel it all. And I'm sure all of you that are looking through the comments, you can feel the heart in everybody, like that beautiful energy of truth. And it gives me goosebumps every time. And I enjoy reading all your comments. And when I see like a comment that I'm like, oh, there's a channel for that. It delights me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just going to say this here. If you want to support what we're doing, we have a Buy Me a Coffee account. You'll see it in the description for donations so that me and Mel can maintain our channel and the platform we're building for empaths. Hopefully that'll come out soon. And I love you all so, so, so much.